Welcome to Roaming Kitchen. Every roaming has a story. Well, today's story is about the royal Nizams and the food of Nizamis. Today being a very important day, Eid Mubarak to all of you. And today's dish is called Veg Nizami Handi. Let's take a look at how this is prepared. Well, for the first step, I've used this handi and I've boiled potatoes, carrots and peas. Now for the base of this gravy, I'm going to use a handful of cashew nuts and boil them along with 2 roughly cut tomatoes. This has boiled well. Now we're going to run this through a mixie and grind it to a nice smooth puree. Now to this hot handi, I'm adding about 4 nice such scoops of ghee, and for the ghee to not burn, I'm also going to add in little oil. You can take a look at how much I'm adding. You can add maybe 1 tablespoon. Now add in roughly half a spoon of jeera or cumin. I'm going to add some black pepper as well, 3 pieces of green cardamom, 1 piece of black cardamom, 1 star anise, about 3 cloves and a small piece of cinnamon. Now stir this well until the raw smell fades away. At this point, I'm adding in 2 medium-sized onions, finely chopped. Now we're going to cook this as well until it turns translucent. We don't want to make this too brown. This has to turn translucent. If you want to fasten the process, you know what to do. Add in a pinch of salt. The onions are at the right shape now. I'm going to add in so much ginger garlic paste, maybe 1 spoon. And I'm going to keep stirring this until raw smell fades away, the usual drill. Now the idea behind cooking in this handi, you see this handi we have at home, it's a nice one, and the idea behind cooking in a handi or starting off by boiling even these vegetables in the same handi is to basically enjoy the flavor of steam that gets collected in this gap or in this size. I'm also now adding 1 nicely cut tomato, and as for the next step, I'm also immediately going to add a spoon of salt, 1 spoon of coriander powder and 1 spoon of Kashmiri red chili powder. This is mainly for the color. I'm now going to let this cook for at least 3 to 4 minutes until all the oil separates and all the tomatoes become mushy. Halfway through, add in a small pinch of turmeric powder as well. If you look carefully now, all the tomatoes have released water and they've cooked really well. You can see the oil has separated to the sides. I'm transferring this nice smooth puree that we made out of the boiled tomatoes and cashew nuts. I'm adding that into this handi now. Take a look at this nice color. Now what we are going to do is we are going to cook this for about 4 to 5 minutes more until the raw smell fades away completely and all the masalas integrate well. Well, here's an interesting story for you, like always. The founder of the Asaf Jahi dynasty during the Mughal rule, one person called Mir Kamaruddin was very happy one day when he was appointed as the governor of Deccan area. So he ended up becoming the governor of the Deccan side as part of the Mughal rule, and he was very happy to leave Delhi because of all the political games. So out of gratitude, he ended up going to visit his spiritual guru or spiritual guide, Hazrat Nizamuddin, who offered Kamaruddin a lot of kulchas tied up in a nice yellow cloth. Kamaruddin was very hungry and he ended up eating 7 kulchas. Now here's the interesting thing about the number 7. Hazrat Nizamuddin was very happy at the sight of Kamaruddin consuming a good amount of food. He went on to bless Kamaruddin by telling him that his dynasty would last for 7 generations. You would be very, very shocked or surprised to know that the Nizami flag after that point also contained an image of the kulcha, and the flag was yellow in color because of the yellow cloth that was used for tying the kulchas. Interestingly, that dynasty went on to live for the next 7 generations. This is nicely starting to cook and it's bubbling well, you can see. Here's a quick tip for you. Usually when I make dishes like paneer makhni, what I do is once I'm done bringing a nice blend of the tomato puree and cashews, I use a strainer and I strain all the puree out. This helps eliminate all the seeds and skin of the tomatoes. But for this dish, I generally don't use a strainer. But if you wish to have a nice smooth consistency, please go ahead and use a strainer. Now, I'm going to add in little water and close this with a lid and leave it to cook for about 4 to 5 minutes. Now, while I boiled the vegetables, what I also did was marinate about 200 grams of paneer using turmeric powder, salt and red chili powder. The oil has separated very beautifully again after about 4 to 5 minutes of cooking. Next, what I'd like to do is bring in all the vegetables that we had boiled. I'm using a very, very minimal amount of variety here. I'm just using green peas, potatoes and carrots like I showed you in the beginning. You can choose to use as many vegetables as you want. Post this, what I'm also doing is adding all the paneer that we had marinated all this while. Now, to adjust the consistency a little bit, because I like it that way, you can use the amount of water you need depending on the thickness that you require. I'm adding about half a glass of this. I'm adding water, very minimal amount of water for it to cook the paneer and vegetables a little more. And at this point, what I am also doing is adding in a little bit of fresh cream. So here's a quick tip. What you can do is take a little bit of the gravy, add it into the fresh cream, give it a nice mix. Once you're done, add that into the gravy. Now you may wonder why we did this. This helps in the process of tempering. After that, I'm going to add some nice crushed kasuri methi and roughly about half a spoon of garam masala. Now, what you basically do is mix this well. Alright, mix this well and close it for about 3 to 4 minutes more. Exactly 5 minutes are done, and I'm very, very confident that the oil and ghee have separated well. Once again, let's take a look. Oh yes, they have. Beautiful, beautiful. Now give this another mix, switch the flame off and add in roughly chopped coriander leaves, and that's about it. We're done. Remember all the steps well. Take a look at this color. It's neither too red nor too yellow. It's in between, and even the consistency, if you can look, it's neither too thick nor thin. It's perfect, just the way I love it. And I think this is a great texture for a gravy to hold on to 3 to 4 types of vegetables and also all this paneer. There we have the beautiful smelling Veg Nizami Handi. And remember, the main reason why it's also called a handi is because all of the things have been cooked in the same vessel. Okay, and that's a very important aspect towards making this dish. Literally every step captures the essence of the steam from all the steps, and it helps in enhancing the flavors. Just giving you a closer look now. Take a look at this. Everything has turned out just perfect, and there's a nice shine to this. As a student of music, studied a lot of piano and keyboards under my mentor in Hyderabad, and I got to travel to a lot of nice, lovely restaurants with him, where I got introduced to some of the most amazing Hyderabadi recipes, like the Hyderabadi biryani, the Veg Nizam Handi, Sabz Diwani Handi, and even the Hyderabadi paneer, and so on. So this flavor is very close to my heart. So friends, happy Eid once again, and do try the Veg Nizami Handi, a lovely creamy recipe to enjoy. Thank you.